Okay guys, on this episode we're going to put in some Caltracs and some mono leaf springs. Toby's going to put in the booster and the master, also hook up all the hard brake lines and install them on the chassis. Once everything's done, take you around the car and show you what we're going to do on the 1 tonner over the next few months coming. And hopefully it comes along pretty quick. We've been waiting for a few parts, it's been slowing us down, plus we've been doing a lot of work on the HQ, but anyway, let's get into it. Now this is what comes in the kit: a set of pivots go up the front, comes with a set of saddles that your shocks go on, comes with a set of torsion bars, nice set of instructions. It's got some bushings, some grease, and we also got some mono leaf springs. So kit's pretty good. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to put the rear shackles back in the grease first, so they're going to squeak. These are my old ones because that's all I've got here at the moment. I'm going to buy some new ones to put in and check out if there's a certain set made for Caltracs. But at the moment, this is what I've got. Okay. So they're a bit tight, which is understandable because this has got 2 layers of zinc prime and 2 layers of powder coat on it. I was probably baited a little bit tighter in there. I might have to take them out and smooth down the inside a little bit if I can't get it up and on. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Okay. Well, hopefully that goes on a little bit easier. Well, that's a lot easier. It's definitely a lot easier. I'll do this back on. We can get it in the right spot. And okay, so that's going to be a problem.
Starting to make the brake lines here on Jimmy's HQ 1 tonner. There's none in it whatsoever. We've got Willwood master cylinder with portioning valve, we've got Willwood front brakes, Willwood rear brakes. So we're going to start from scratch with the brake lines. I found the best way with material wise, start with a piece of wire or string, work out where you want the brake lines to go, and start from there. Give it a little extra just to be sure, and then we'll mark that out on our new bungee tube, and we can start from there so we're not trying to handle 10-15 metres of bungee tube in one go. Right, we've got a flaring tool, cutting tool, bending tool, and this is how your bungee tube comes normally, rolled like this. So for best results, we want to straighten it out. We've got this straightening tool. Tube goes in here, moves it backwards and forwards, and straight forces it back straight. You can see it's pretty effective. Pipe cutter. go. Then that's a lot easier to manage than that.
Okay, so we took the slightest whisker off the end of that, just so it sits flush with the Caltracs bracket. Okay. One side's in. Front anyway. I won't tighten it up just yet. Till we get the backs in. Okay, one side in. Okay, so both sides are in. At the front, they're loose, obviously. Let's get the back one in. Not tight, but they're nipped up. There's so many different sizes of these U-bolts. I've gone through 4 sets till I found the right ones. Thank God. One side to go. Okay, so got the Caltracs on, mono leaf on with it, and we've just installed the U-bolts. Which came up pretty cool. That saddle looks kind of cool. The other side's done also. She's coming along. Once again, Toby's laying around.
Yeah.
Trying to look busy.
So, now most people use tube benders, but that's great for some like some bends, but most of the time I use my thumbs. You don't, for something like this where it's passing through, you don't really want a 90-degree bend like that, then like that, then like that, because it's not that strong. Alright, we've got a brake on there. Now we've just got to fix it to the chassis rails.
So the brake lines are in and connected. Toby's joined the flexible line to the hard line. Kicks out, up over the diff to the block, then down to this side, flexi hose into the calipers. So came up really good, looks really neat. Everything's perfect here.
Alright, we've got the Willwood calipers here, fitted to the 1 tonner, and they were only ever just fitted up just to put on there, and they now need the clearance between the disc rotor and the caliper on either side adjusted, and it just shims either way like that, so that you get even brake pad wear and you don't wear disc rotors out like unevenly as well. So we're going to measure the gap in here and in here and adjust the shims around. When you're dealing with shims, to leave one bolt in and do them one bolt at a time. So these have a spacer washer and they have this shim as well. So we're going to try without the shim. Yeah, there we go. That was the difference. That spacer washer was the difference. Now it's roughly the same thickness on either side. And then we'll have even brake pad wear, even disc rotor wear, and the caliper can actually work properly. Simple as that to adjust your calipers.
So I just thought I'd give you a quick rundown about the 1 tonner, what we've done and what we're going to put in it. Obviously you've just seen Toby put in the brake lines, the booster. He's run all the lines across from both calipers up into the master. He's run it down the back. We've got a rod shot power steering conversion that's been put in. We've had Willwood brakes put in. The chassis been blasted and coated, zinc primed. It's got Bilstein shocks and king springs in it. This sway bar actually came with the power steering rack kit, which is good. It was pretty easy to put in. It basically fits straight in the factory spots. The cab itself, it's been smoothed off the front wall. It's been smoothed off the back wall as well. We've had it resprayed in jet black gloss, it is, just flat jet black gloss. The chassis in a wet black. We've also had the 9-inch diff from the rod shop put in it. It also comes with Willwood brakes standard, and we've sat that on a set of Caltracs that we've just put in as well. There's a few other things that we have to get done. Toby's marked them all out on the chassis, what he wants done. So that's all the red tape everywhere.
Do you want me to take over and explain?
I think you should take over and explain. I don't like red tape.
Alright, so since it's all my red tape and my writing, I'll take over. We're looking battery here to keep it out of the engine bay. We've got some old fuel tank mounts here, so we're going to utilise those to make up a battery box to hold Optima battery more than likely. We've got the new brake lines coming up that side. We'll also be putting electric power steering pump in that driver's side front corner, along with possibly a fuse box, obviously battery cables. Under the tray in the middle, around about where my hand is, we'll be mounting the transcooler, and then those transcooler hoses will be running down the centre of the tunnel to the gearbox, keeping them away from exhaust and that kind of thing. At the back, we're going to have a drop tank in here, tasteful drop tank, not 1980s spec drop tank, with the fuel pump and pre-filter mounted directly on the back on a plate on the fuel tank, and then the after filter will be mounted on the inside of the chassis rail on the passenger side there. Is that all we're doing, Jimmy? In the back?
I think that's what we're doing so far until we come up with some other problems that we want to. We've got to figure out the exhausts, where they're going to go. We're hopefully going to have them come out from behind the wheels and shoot up the back, but we're not sure. It's just an idea at the moment.
Yeah, the tank's been made to give us room for the exhaust, but you'll see the tank anyway when it comes.
What else have we got here that we're going to put in? Oh, we've got
some of the stuff here. We've got transcooler with fan that will sit under the tray. Nice little beefy unit. Comes with the activation switch for the fan and everything. So that's what we'll be mounting up underneath the tray. Running the twin motor Dominator fuel pump and the matching Dominator fuel regulator with the high micron aluminium fuel filters. Obviously all braided lines, AN fittings for everything, transcooler, all going to run that kind of lineage and fittings. That's the engine mounts. Jimmy's going to get into those later on. And in this video or another video. Pretty exciting.
Well, the engine should be here soon.
Dirty grey hole there.